I need a lot more wheat for all the mud that I'm gonna use, so let's fix that today. Welcome to a new video on the single player world, and today we're gonna work on the first automated wheat farm in this world. Mostly because we're going to need a bunch of wheat for all the mud that I'm planning to use. We do need a big hole to be dug, and I'm probably going to put it underneath one of the houses so I can have the output set up above ground. And yeah, digging the hole is a big task. It will take some time, or we could use our mobile beacon to make it a bit faster. The hole is about 9 blocks wide and a couple blocks longer, mostly because we have to fit in a collection system as well. The farm itself is a bit of a mix of different farms. First of all, we're using the collection system of a melon and pumpkin farm. It's basically a minecart track that zigzags underneath the farmland, and of course we're gonna cover it up with some dirt. That way we can plant seeds above the minecart. A composter goes on the central block, which is a slab that houses water. We're mostly using the composter for the villager so he can get a farmer profession, but we will put a sea lantern on top because we need light and we don't want the villager to go into the composter and get stuck. The most important thing about this farm is that you need to put the trapdoors around the lantern, otherwise the farm won't work. It relies heavily on the villager filling up its inventory with seeds and, well, wheat, and then dropping the leftovers on the ground. And for the rest of the farm, we just repeat this about 2 more times. I have a bit more space, but that's if I want to add more layers. Okay, right now I'm at the village across the river for some villagers. And it's always the same. Transporting these villagers is such an annoying task. I do think that there's certain methods that are better than others, like over long distances. And if you have the resources, mostly iron, I think minecarts are the easiest to go. After that, I think boats are pretty easy as well. Definitely if you have a base that is level with the water, because if you need to go uphill, it's horrible. I see people using workstations a lot, but I just find it unreliable, because the moment you have a barrel or like a decorative grindstone or sawmill, you lose their interest. So I'm putting this out there, and Mojang, if you want to use this idea, feel free to do so. A new type of lead that allows me to lead villagers. Or maybe just let them follow me when I'm holding emeralds or something. You know, like how cows follow you if you have wheat in your hands. Now there's 2 ideas for you, Mojang, and I managed to get 3 of these boys over the river. Now we just need to get them down the hole. Let's start with a dirt staircase. We're going to have to swoop it around a bit at the bottom to avoid the collection system. But this is the easiest part, because now it's taking one of them, making sure the other 2 don't escape, and leading them down the staircase with some composters. And once they're inside, we have to hope that none of them have carrots or potatoes in their inventory. Over time, these boys will start harvesting the wheat and fill up their inventory. When it's full, they'll drop their leftovers, as I've said before, but I'm going to lock them in place just to be sure. I don't want them to pick up any other professions, so a little bit of emerald trading should fix that. Now we just need a filter to separate out the wheat and send it upstairs with an elevator, and the rest of the seeds and maybe some other stuff will go into the composter to get some bone meal. Now that we're on the topic of making mud blocks, I'm thinking of adding a small little mud farm to the village. Obviously, we can get loads of muds from the swamp at the starter base, but to have a small farm here will allow me to get a couple of stacks here and there when I'm in a pinch. The design I'm going with is from a video made by Ilmango. It's pretty compact, it doesn't really need that many resources, so that's why I built it. And yeah, his video will be linked in the description below, so if you want to build it in your own world, feel free to go over there, follow his tutorial, and give him some love. But now I can farm mud. Let's craft a new diamond shovel, because all of my netherite ones have efficiency 5, and that breaks the farm. But I am kinda curious how much mud I can get with an unenchanted shovel. couple of in-game days later, and we got a pretty decent amount of mud with this. I imagine when I put some mending and breaking on it, it'll be even better, but for now I'll leave it right here until I get myself some of those books. One thing is for sure, and that is that I have at least 2 houses to build. For the first one, I think I can lean more into that orangey kind of vibe with some terracotta. To offset the smoothness of the terracotta, we can add some stone brick in there. As for the roof, we can get some stripped dark oak logs and add some spruce planks into it for texture. I know it sounds weird, but it kind of works. Now we just need to add some outside decorations, you know, the windows, some plant boxes, blinders and overhangs around the windows, and that looks pretty nifty. Now let's add another house to connect it to the other ones. Okay, it's coming together. Look, it's almost a town. Now for the mud farm, I think we go back to the red stones with some bricks. We'll still add the stone bricks in there as an accent, because I kind of want to tie it to the wheat farm. And as a roof, I think I want to go for something mud, or something that looks like mud. And yeah, maybe we just do jungle logs and add some packed mud in there as a texture. And that looks pretty good, I would say. I like the idea of having an outdoor staircase to access the top floor, and with some more decoration sprinkled in, this looks like part of the shoreline as well. Last thing that I want to do is gather up some resources, mostly wood because I'm running out, and yeah, just prepping for next episode. Alrighty, I'm finishing up the last couple of trees. I'm probably got enough built for some future houses. We'll see how far it gets us. You've also seen me tidy up the shulker mess I had in front of the house. It got a bit out of hand, and a lot of the dedicated boxes got mixed up, so we tidied it back up. We sorted everything back out into its own little box. And yeah, this is probably gonna be it for today. Again, a very productive episode. The farms will help a lot with the progression of the town, and if you liked it as much as I did, consider subscribing and liking the video. That's all for me, and I'll see you all in the next one.